Morning, guys. I was going to put this up yesterday, or yes, on Saturday or Sunday, and I decided I was getting tired. That was enough of that. But I want to go over something. And this is the West Virginia community passed a resolution supporting gun rights, January 19th, 2020. Said Fort Gay, West Virginia. The West Virginia community has passed a resolution declaring itself a Second Amendment sanctuary. The Fort Gay Town Council passed the resolution Friday night, news outlets reported. Supporters say it is a defense against possible federal or state legislation that could limit access to firearms, ammunition, or guns and accessories. Mayor Joletta Hatfield said Fort Gay is the first municipality in West Virginia to adopt such a resolution. You know, I kind of got this yeah, it might be a little better. She said the move was in response to recent events in Virginia where new Democrat majority leadership plans to enact a slew of gun restrictions. Fort Gay is located in Wayne County along the West Virginia-Kentucky border. Now, what gets me is we shouldn't have to do this. We have a thing called the Constitution. Remember that? And the thing is, the problem is, it's the Supreme Court that has perverted the original intent of the Constitution. These people didn't study the Constitution when they went to law school. They studied what other judges said about the Constitution. And judges, Supreme Court judges anyway, it's only their opinion. And mostly it's a political opinion. And they screw the little guy underneath them. They're supposed to be upholding the Constitution and its laws, and they're not. They're getting paid big bucks to sit on their butts and come up with all this mumbo jumbo that has nothing to do with the Constitution of the United States of America. I want to get into something here. I don't know what I want to get into. I'm just, you got to remember, when the Constitution was written, these people grew up in an atmosphere of common law, and they thought and they spoke of its vocabulary. When they wrote the Constitution, they wrote so even a 10-year-old kid could understand it. The language of the Constitution cannot be interpreted safely except by reference to the common law and the British institutions as they were when the instrument was framed and adopted. You know, these people, they keep trying to twist the meaning and squeeze it out of the text or invent stuff against it instead of going by the probable one, which was when it was written. They're making this stuff up as they go along, is what they're doing, and that's not a good thing. Now, in every statement in law, always the best evidence rule states that if an original document or any other original item of proof is available, it is to be accorded a higher degree of credibility in the courtroom than a copy or other second-hand proof. And your Federalist Papers are first-hand original proof. But your Supreme Court justices aren't going by that. They're going by what they had learned in school, and that was wrong. I mean, they've taught us, they sent us to school and give us history books that were full of mumbo jumbo. What do you think the Supreme Court's getting? Now, I told you people a long time ago that the Second Amendment, the safety of the state and the militia and all that good stuff, and the right of the people to keep and bear arms should not be infringed. There is no subparagraph A, B, C, D after that would specify or stipulate what an acceptable infringement would be. Therefore, there is none. There is no acceptable infringement. For infringement is forbidden against the Constitution of the United States. You can't do that. The framers of the Constitution, in case the Supreme Court Justice doesn't know, they were all for an armed American people because they understood that arms are the ultimate defense in the event that the federal government oversteps its bounds. Look at Federalist Papers number 46, people. Look it up. Accordingly, all federal government is nowhere in the Constitution granted authority to abridge, restrict, or infringe in any fashion whatsoever guns or ammunition. All restrictive laws made by Congress, all regulations made by the BATF are unconstitutional because they are outside the scope of powers granted to Congress and to the executive branch by our Constitution. Restrictions of arms and ammunition is not one of the enumerated powers delegated to Congress or to the executive branch. Now, you know, they've tried to use the first gun law, 1934. They put it under the Treasury Act, you know, Internal Revenue, because they do not have the power to do anything else. Now, they try to use the Commerce Clause, but it's not a grant of general police powers. Nope. Commerce Clause only means one thing. If you look it up in Federalist Papers number 22 and 42, it says commerce is, the power was given to Congress for only to stop the taxes and tariffs that each one of the states was adding on to an object or an item as it passed through their states. So that, you know, the politicians could pack their wallets with more money. That's what the Commerce Clause was to stop. It doesn't say nothing about interstate commerce. Now, they're going by the assumption that the Supreme Court said, oh, well, you have interstate commerce control too. No, the Supreme Court cannot give Congress more power than they already have in the enumerated powers. Where are they coming from? The Necessary and Proper Clause. That only means what's necessary and proper to enforce the stuff that's in the enumerated powers. Outside of that, they have no powers. The General Welfare Clause. They can't use that either. There's nothing in the Constitution that grants the Congress of the United States authority to infringe upon your rights. Nothing. You have the right to keep and bear arms, and they've got to keep their dirty little fingers off of it. Now, anything that goes on in the United States, I blame the Supreme Court for being lackeys, not doing their job. And that's a problem anymore. You got too many people, supposedly, it looks under the color of law, but it's not law. Every firearm law they ever wrote, anyone they ever passed, is null and void. And they need to get off their asses now and put this country back into its proper place. If not, they're not doing they're not upholding their oath. That's that's having perjury. And actually, it's downright treasonable to put this kind of stuff on the backs of the American people, the taxpayers that pay their salaries. Get off your butts. Use your head. Look at the Federalist Papers. Go back and read the Declaration of Independence. Go do something that's constructive towards the Constitution instead of following the whims of politicians who are using you. Thank you. You want to get down in history as somebody that's important? Do what I told you. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, we should not have to make any laws or pass any resolutions in the United States of America that inhibits the right to keep and bear arms and to have firearms, to have guns, to have ammunition, to have any other thing that you want with it. Don't let these people walk all over you. We are a free country. We are free men. We will not be bound by unconstitutional laws. Our forefathers warned us about it. That's why we have the Second Amendment. And that nitwit Democrat there in Virginia. He needs to resign, and all of his lackeys over there that joined him in this little endeavor need to resign as well. Thanks for watching.